Hello there, welcome back to another video. So this is another fragrance from the house of Rayhaan fragrances. This is the fourth fragrance that I'm reviewing from their house. The first one was Ocean Rush, which was a fresh fragrance. Then I did Imperia, which was from the collection of Imperia collection. Then I did Corium, which was from the leather collection, and today I have Wood Noir, which is from the woody collection. Okay, so we're going to find out more about this particular fragrance, its scent profile, projection, and if it's an alt of any popular fragrance. All about it right after this intro. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get started. So welcome back. So first of all, let's quickly do the presentation about this particular fragrance. So it comes in the same typical box that all Rayhaan fragrances come. So, but the only difference is this is a completely black colored kind of box, and the texture that they kind of give here is woody grainy kind of a texture. So there's a little bit of that grainy effect that you feel, which is more of a woody effect that you get, and the rest of the bottle is black, and the same calligraphy work is there across the box. And this is, like I said, part of their wood collection. Okay, and if you look at the bottle is completely black in color. It's got a silver writing across. The cap is again plastic, but it's got a wooden kind of a texture to it. In fact, even the bottle at the back also has got the calligraphy element, but it's a very matte finish kind of a bottle. I really like the Corium bottle a lot. That had that nice leather touch. It felt a lot more premium, but this looks a lot classy as well because of the cap and of the box. The bottle is pretty good. Right now, let's quickly talk about the sprayer on this particular one, and I think the sprayer is pretty good. It puffs very nicely. In fact, all of the Rayhaan fragrances, sprayers are really good. The bottles are good as well. So, really nicely done in that particular segment. Okay. So, there is no other information associated to some basic packing information that is mentioned at the bottom, right? Now, this particular fragrance is very nice. In fact, this I would say is a compliment getter because I've been wearing this for a couple of days and I've got 3 compliments just today itself on this particular fragrance. Okay. Now, this particular fragrance will remind you of a very woody kind of a fragrance with a little bit of a spice element like Szechuan pepper, pink pepper, and then it will also give you that hints of vanilla, tonka beans, vetiver, and all of that. But on the whole, it's a more of a woody kind of a fragrance with a lot of sandalwood, Brazilian rosewood, sandalwood, and of course oud. Right now, if you've been able to get my hint of this particular fragrance, of course, then you don't really need to do a lot of soul searching for this particular fragrance because this is a very popular DNA, and it's a very nice DNA, very popular among people. Now, let's talk a little more about how this particular fragrance performs. Okay, so like I said, this is a compliment getter, so that means it performs really well. So while we put it on, there's a very strong note of that spice element that you kind of immediately get when you whiff it up close. But after about 10-15 minutes, that goes off, and then there is the woody notes that kind of come up. So it is a more ambery, woody, sweet, vanilla kind of a fragrance. That you will remind of a little bit of powdery tones to it as well. There is a little bit of sweetness to it because of vanilla and tonka beans as such, but then it's a very nice fragrance. And after about the 30-40 minutes time, you will think that it is no longer sniffing, or you will feel that it has gone down. But in reality, the thing is, this is not a very loud projection kind of a fragrance. It will probably do about 2 feet, but after the 40 minutes time, it starts to come down, but it's in your realm of 1.5 feet. Now what happens is, about even after 5 hours time, you will think that okay, the fragrance is like gone off, I can smell it hardly on my hand, that kind of thing. Let's also do a couple of sprays on my hand and I'll tell you exactly what happens. So right at the top, like I said, that powdery effect is there and the spice element is there. But after the 4th or the 5th hour, you will start thinking, okay, you are no longer able to sniff the particular fragrance, or it's very light. But in reality, anybody around you who is about 1.5 feet will actually be able to sniff and can get that fragrance really well, very strong as well. But then that person or those people have to tell you that they're able to sniff and compliment you, because otherwise you will think that you're not able to get anything. So that way, this particular fragrance on me, I've got about 3 compliments easily just in one particular day today when I wore it to office. A lot of my colleagues were able to sniff it at about 1.5 feet, and they could feel it pretty intensely strong as well. But I was thinking all the time that it is very light, right? So that way, yes, this is a pretty good fragrance in terms of its scent profile, projection, and lasting. You will easily get about 6 hours on apparel, in fact a little more on apparel as well, but on skin you will get about 5 hours roughly. Projection for the first 30 to 40 minutes time, and after that at about 2 feet, right? So That is about the scent profile. And I told you that this is a very woody fragrance. It's a very popular fragrance, and of the DNA that is copied very, very well. So if you recollect the notes of Szechuan pepper and black pepper and wood, rosewood, tonka beans, vanilla, vetiver, and all of that, you do know that this is heading towards a Tom Ford fragrance called as Oud Wood, right? So this is an alt of Tom Ford's Oud Wood, and there is, this is done really, really nicely. Okay, so that way, it's a fantastic fragrance. Although there are many Oud Wood, alts in the market, there is, this is something that is also created by Rayhaan, and they've done it really, really well because of a couple of reasons. One, there is no alcohol blast in any of those things. Second is the performance is good, and the scent profile is very, very nicely and very deep and very beautifully done. Now, the one element that is kind of missing would be that the depth that the Tom Ford Wood Oud Wood has, the complexity, the deep part of it, the punch part of it probably is missing a little. But then this is an alt or a clone, and so you don't really expect that excellent quality as such. But nonetheless, it is done really well for the price. I think you're getting a fantastic fragrance, because most Middle Eastern alts which are of Oud Wood and all are, I think, above the price bracket of 1600 rupees or so. So this will be much lesser, and this is really, really good for that particular price, because you get a complete 100 ml of volume of this, and it is really good, right? So this is a fragrance for, especially for colder weathers, for occasions like weddings, for office wear. You can definitely wear it. Any indoor occasion, any cold environment, lower temperature, this particular fragrance works very well. When you wear this and go out in the daytime, you might think that this is not on you. You might think about the factor that I said, that it's very low and all of that. But in the evenings, whenever you've worn it, especially in the colder temperatures, like now I think it's about 16 degrees or 17 degrees in Bangalore in the evening. So round about this time, it really opens well, and it works really well for 2-3 hours loud in the evenings. Okay, daytime fragrance, I would say that it's a little softer during the day, but in the evening is when this particular beauty really opens. And this is a compliment getter, because this DNA is done so very nicely, by anybody whoever has copied this particular clone. They have done it really well, because that DNA is so very nice, very nice woody, vanilla, vetiver, all of that. But with that sandalwood and vanilla and tonka beans, you get a little bit of that sweetness with a little bit of ambery element to it. So it's a fragrance definitely for compliment getter, and definitely something that you will enjoy wearing, right? So that has been my quick thought about Rayhaan's Wood Noir. I actually was pretty surprised at the way this particular fragrance worked. This one and Corium were really big surprises for me, because I really did not think that this would be this good. Okay, because when I first put it on, I was like, okay, it's smelling nice, but after 10-15 minutes it was not there, and then I was thinking, maybe performance is not great. But then I realized that this actually makes you nose blind, but it actually lasts much longer. So that way it's really, really good, right? So if you're looking for a good alternative of Oud Wood, then yes, definitely you can consider Wood Noir from the house of Rayhaan fragrances. Let me know which other fragrance from Rayhaan that you would like me to try next. They have other florals and other things as well, so I can definitely give that a try, right? So you're watching the Perfume Experience, and my name is Rodney. So this was a very quick video or review about Rayhaan Wood Noir. See you on the next one. Till such time, take care. Bye now.